So I really wonder why many people think that a big balance is the answer. I will tell you, even if I was going to give you 20k and I say take it up from there, you can lose everything. So the big balance, yes, it does help in a positive way, but the strategy works more, right? So I remember times when I just don't have much. Maybe I just check my balance. Maybe I have like 300 or 200, and then you'll be shocked what I would play there. I'll put 200 on top. I'll put 100 at the bottom, and then I'll just wait maybe for a 3x, and then wait maybe if I can get it. If I don't, it's fine. If I get it, then I'm up and going. I'm up and running, just like that. But many people will not believe that. Why? Because they feel that when you have a bigger balance, then you feel comfortable. Yes, it's very true. You feel comfortable, but it's all about strategy. That's why I've often showed you that you can just walk into the game. Once you walk into the game, it immediately pays, and then you'll never see that payment ever again. Or maybe just before you leave, it comes a big one, or just before your balance is depleted, it comes a big one, right? So right now on top there, I've got 2.5, right? 2.5 with the way I'm playing, it means that that's about 400 per round. It means I can only play 6 times. So if I'm to ask you how many times have you seen blues, like 6 blues in a row? There's been a lot of times that has happened, and I'll tell you, to be honest, it's all about strategy. It's all about strategy. That's why I keep on focused on let me do my cash outs. At times you miss it, at times you get it, right? So I went over the 15x and then it went on 16x. This is how I ended up settling for. Okay, I'll get a 15x, try and build. When I get it somewhere maybe where it's comfortable, I can let it run longer. But as you can see, I've just missed the 3k, and it was going to be a pretty comfortable 3k, especially looking at my balance, because my balance is low. But this is the thing I always remind you. Instead of regretting, you'd always try and keep to your strategy. If it doesn't happen according to the strategy, it's okay. It's still fine. You will try and maybe match your competition with this game in the next rounds and stuff like that. So there I am. I'm still focused on this game, and I'm thinking maybe I can get something. There is 12x, right? So the game is actually paying at this point. That's another pink, but I don't have anything to show for it. So whoever would walk into this game and look at this history, who would think it has been paying nice pinks there, but what do I have to show for it? Nothing. So there's one big statement that I always hear. I've always heard, and I always cherish that statement. And that statement says, an opportunity taken is way better than an opportunity missed. Right? So you'd rather take an opportunity and try and use it. If it doesn't work, it's okay. There's no complaints about that. But if it works, then you're out for good. You can be out of the troughs for the rest of your life, rather than the regrets that we all have. We cash out too early, and then after cashing out too early, you see it gets to 1000x. And then you're just wondering, why did I even get to 15 or 20x? Because we were out at 3x. You see those two pinks. There's only been two pinks now. In the recent past, there's been lots of blues and purples. And because of that, that's why I kept on, sticking around thinking maybe there's going to be a bigger pink, because the history showed that. And normally that's what exactly happens with the game. And I'll be honest with you, this game is actually a bit predictable. Why? Because I've noticed that there's been lots of pinks. There's been lots of blues and purples. And because of that, there hasn't been any, there hasn't been any pinks. And because there hasn't been any pinks, we start expecting the pinks. The only question is, when the pinks come, how big are they going to be? So at this point, I'm fighting for survival. All I want is maybe when I get the next pink, you can see that it's been smiling. It's been smiling. But the only thing is, the prediction is such that I'm hoping for something big at this point, because of the way that it has been working in the past. If you look at the past 20 or so rounds, it really was chowing money like no man's business. But this is the thing, like I always say, it's strategy. At this point, it's very easy. With 3,200, this is only maybe say about 8 times that I can play. If it gives me 8 blues there, or 8 purples, or 8 small purples, or maybe a mixture of both, then I'll be finished immediately. And that can happen in less than 2 minutes. But at the same time, it can actually give me a big pink. But in my mind, I always try and keep the positivity. I always keep positive, right? Even though I miss something, I may miss a 15x at one point, but I still keep positive. Why? Because I know somehow in the end it might come my way. The challenge is always, when it comes, are we ready? I've always posed that question. When it comes, because when it comes, you're always under pressure. I don't know, for some reason, it always happens that way. It's either you just walked into the game when you haven't even actually decided how you're going to play or how you're going to stay in the game and stuff like that. When you don't expect it, it's always the time that it pays. That's why we go back to that old strategy that we talked about in a couple of weeks ago. That one guy said, at times you need to go the exact opposite of what should happen. So at this time, I'm looking, it's even outside my normal paying range. And I'm thinking, no, but I still have a feeling that something can happen. Something can happen. That's why in the end, especially when it gives a 0-0 like this, I'm thinking maybe it's going to give us something. Now I'm left with 2K, right? That means I can only play 5 times from this. If this goes, I can only play 5 times. And if I play, it's actually 1.6. I can only play 4 times, like 4 rounds. And if it gives me four blues in a row, I'm out. What can I do? That's the game. That's why I always say to you guys, just try to stick to your strategy and just try and keep playing. So there I am. I keep playing and I'm still believing that something big can happen. And unfortunately, it doesn't even give me my 5x. That's exactly what happens. And now it goes beyond that again. So now it takes that. Now I'm on 1.2, right? I'm going down. And this is what normally then happens. When someone sees that their balance is going down, they start changing their strategy because now they feel bad about missing the 4.38x, that 4.37 that just went now. You start feeling bad. Oh, maybe I should have taken a 3x, or maybe I should have done a 3x and a 4x. I would have been having 1.2 plus 600, 1.8. That's a lot of money. That could push my balance. No, that's not the strategy. Look, again, 4.75, it goes. But remember, my strategy is I want to pick up a 5x for the first one. Then I'm going to go for the second one because I still believe that there's a big pin coming. And because there's a big pin coming, I'm going to hang in there. I'm just going to do what it takes. So now I'm left with 800, right? I'm left with 800. I've missed 2 4x's, but it's none of my business really because I just told myself this is what I'm going to do. So it passes 4x again, and I'm thinking, no, this is not what I agreed with this game in the first place. Okay, I was a bit skeptic there. I took a 7x. I actually intended to take a 10x, but I just went for 7x. So just maybe I can have something on my balance. Yes, that's a little bit of a panic there. 16.74, gone again, right? So to be honest with you, if you check in the past, there's 2 15x's I have missed. There's this one and the other previous 16x that came through. I would have been having 6k on top there right now, plus 6k in fact. So I'd be having maybe something like 7.8. That would have been a very good balance. A very, very, very good balance. But anyway, strategy is strategy. I'm going down back again. I'm on 1.8. The thing is, you win some, you lose some. You can never be perfect. That is one thing that I want you to understand. You can never be perfect with Aviator. You can never be perfect to say you'll pick up everything, and it rarely does it happen. Now look at this. So there's been 3 pinks, 2 16s and 1 12. Huh? What a piece of history there. But this is the thing, because in my mind, I still have that thing embedded in my mind to say there should be a big pink coming. That's the reason why I missed the first 16x and the second 16x. I know it's outside, it's paying zone, it's paying time, but this is where I know it normally pays something big, right? So back again, normal strategy, 5x, but I'm taking a risk with the second one. That's always what I look at, right? So now it goes above 10, and I know it's surely a pink, right? It gets to the 15x, I don't care, because this is the thing. If I pick a 15x now, what that means is I'm not going to cover for all those losses. So at least I have to push. I have to push a little bit, right? 35x, I collect it, I get 7k. So what that means is whatever came in the past and I missed, I'm pretty sure I've recovered to some extent, right? If I had enough guts, I would have just stayed now. I would have been enjoying myself. Look at that. It still keeps going and going and going and going. This is where we need to have the guts as Aviator players. But all I'm worried about at this point is just to make sure I push my balance up. Once I push my balance up, I'm going to start again maybe at another session and see how it goes. But look at this. Isn't this nice? Oh my goodness me. 956.56. That's a good one. That's a good one. You don't even need all this. This is too big for you. Even for me, it's too big. I would have just gone 100x maybe at most. But at least I'm surviving. Let's try and see if it's going to pay in the next round. If it does pay, no. It decides to collect. And at this point, I think it's time to go. It's time to go. See you in the next session. Have a great one.